Norman, get out of the bathroom. And he looks at mom like she's insane because to him she is. Because there's no way he's going to compute that. Norman's brain starts and ends at, do you have food? Go away.
No, I don't even want to say the word. The T-R-E-A-T word. We don't, yeah. But my wife can pretty much get him to command things. Well, for some reason, my screen's switched now to a TED Talk, and I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, we've had... Norman has responded well to that. We don't have it on him very often, but when he gets real naughty, got to put the vibrate collar on. Let's see here. And my chat function's gone.
What do you think about
gone
Freemasons
too.
and Masons?
Yeah, my chat function is totally gone here.
Okay,
so
Dad.
it doesn't scroll anymore.
Let me. That's because you're at the newest message.
No, it usually lets me with my thumb, just go up and down.
Okay, here's what you do. Press that.
Yeah.
Go to pop-out chat, and it'll open this window, which is just the... Oh, wait. For some reason, I guess since you opened it here, you can't see stuff before you left the page. I'm not sure why you would leave the page.
Well, I didn't intend to leave the page. I looked over at it, and then it was a TED Talk or something.
Someone just said the stream just went offline, so let me quickly check.
No, might have something to do with it. Oh, let's see here.
Not that I can tell, at least.
Somebody else has shock collar experiments here.
Well, Dad, you can't scroll up. It's no.
Oh, now I got the arrow back here. For some
there we
reason.
go.
There we
Everything's better or something.
Yeah, everything rebooted. Yep.
Dad, there's someone we both met that I'm pretty sure was used to be I'm not going to say their name, but used to be like a higher ranking Freemason. Do you know who I'm talking about? Because you've definitely met him at least once.
It's not ringing a bell.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Oh. Are you? Yeah, you're talking about in Dallas.
No, not in Dallas.
Oh, then I have
wait. There's one in Dallas?
Then I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Sentinel Apologetics, I can read your message.
Yeah, stream is choppy.
Well, there's a lot of people here using the internet. Maybe they shouldn't.
Right.
Good idea.
Now the girls are trying to find what seems to be the last British period drama on any network or channel in existence to watch.
There's
they've
one
been through,
good period
They've been
drama.
through all of them to this point, I think.
Hey, Sammy, I found another show where they're in the Dark Ages. This one's about the Black Plague. Want to check it out? No, it's like, okay. Period pieces, period dramas, are literally all about the same stuff. It's either an apprenticeship, right? There's like an apprenticeship, or an apprenticeship for a girl who has to be all posh, but she doesn't want to be posh. And then there's and there's always some like dumb romance between the girl and some guy no one cares about, or it's a show about Vikings. Those are the only three shows I ever see them watching.
What about a guy and a girl?
Yeah.
Want to get married, but they're in different social classes.
Oh my gosh, I don't think anyone's done that before. We should.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for 100 times, yeah.
Except for 100 to the power of 10. It's like, oh my gosh, what if we made another period drama where there's two people in love, right? But they're in a different social class.
Don't do the accent, please.
We should make it. Green light it.
Oh, let's go back here and see if I missed anything here. No,
Okay.
It won't let me go backward so far.
But there's other genres of shows, right, that are all essentially the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got period pieces, right? And I think modern sitcoms are the worst, all right? I'm about to describe the mom character from every single ABC family show that's been released in the past, 6 years, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, so she's a Caucasian woman who's 1/8 Hispanic, and she has a growl to her voice, and she says things like, if this house is socialism, then I'm Stalin. And that's the only clip they use in the commercial. And then there's a bunch of kids who don't even look like her. like dad is black hair, she is brown hair. Their kids are blonde. Something's not adding up. The casting is terrible, and the shows are all the same. They last 2 seasons because nobody watches them.
Well, that would include me because I haven't watched a sitcom for probably 20 years.
You've watched The Middle.
I did watch a few episodes in the middle.
The middle's good.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I wasn't devoted to it, but what I did see, that was fun. Let's see here.
Have you seen any? I'm trying to remember what it's called. Just keep going on. I'll remember in a sec.
I asked, what do you think about Freemasons?
Oh,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be a Freemason because it's just a hodgepodge.
Okay. Question about the question. Okay. Yeah. Someone says Albert Pike admits that Lucifer is their god. Who is Albert Pike?
He's a very famous.
Unless he's
Freemason
the founder, it doesn't
writer.
mean jack.
Well, it depends on what you're asking. What was founded? So.
Okay.
Pike,
all right, but let's say Christianity, right?
All Freemasons consider Pike very important.
All right, but okay, let's just say, right? Like we were the founders of Christianity, right? Yeah. And then like you leave because you didn't like it anymore. Like you could say literally anything, and everyone else would just assume it's true.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be that. Let's see.
I wonder what kind of petty dramas the Freemasons are going through right now.
So Han Solo says, Mike, check out the article by the Federalist that has the Naked Bible podcast mentioned. The title is 7 Provocative Substantial Theology Podcasts You Need to Check Out. Really? Wow, who wrote that?
Someone.
Well, I know, but it's a little hard to believe, but I'll check it out right now.
Is the Federalist like a big thing?
Well, it's a pretty well-known publication.
More than you?
Yeah, it's usually... Okay. Oh, here. I'll show you here. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay, you know what I hate? Cracked.com. You ever been to Cracked.com?
I don't think so.
Oh, Cracked.com is like a comedy news website, right? Mm-hmm. It's sort of like The Onion, except they also do like... But instead of like making things up, they just write about regular things in a comedic way, right? Mm-hmm. But there's 2 eras of Cracked.com, right? Mm-hmm. You have pre-Trump Cracked and post-Trump Cracked. And post-Trump is by far like the worst news publication I've ever seen in my life. Because like before the election, right, everything is really funny and comedic, and then after the election, I tuned in and they, like, it's just some disgruntled writer who wrote like an 8-page long piece about how he's not going to stop writing about politics. Mm-hmm. It's the worst. But Crack.com back in the day was pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Solo, I've found I have found the article here. So Piper's podcast is mentioned, Al Mohler, Dividing Line, which is James White.
Oh, James White is on it. You guys
Todd Wilkin. Boy, I don't know if I know that one or not. Line of Fire, Naked Bible. Okay.
Who's number 1?
They don't have them numbered. It's just
so we can
the
claim
symbolic
that we're
world. Orthodox Christian symbols. All right, let me ask people, have any of you listened to the symbolic world? It's mentioned in this list. Boy, I got to find out who Holly Shear is. She's the one who wrote this. But has anybody listened to that last one? And I'm wondering if it's a video podcast as well, because I would think with symbols you'd pretty much have to be video. I'd have to have, visualizations here.
Post-Trump entertainment kind of sucks, Thomas. Yeah. And it's not because it's political, right? Because...
yeah, I'll have to mention this too. Go ahead.
Because even on, like, before Trump's election, like, people did political sketches on SNL a lot, right? Or political articles or whatever. But I feel like the problem isn't that they're being written a lot. I think the problem is more like, it's not to have fun, it's to whine. And even if you agree with the message of it, you can't comedy, because comedy doesn't have an agenda. Like, that's not what comedy's supposed to be. It's just propaganda. Hey guys, did you know that Trump is bad?
Norman's groaning. I think he agrees with you. Or he's kind of like wheezing and groaning at the same time.
Top 10 ways Bernie could still win the election. Every time I see a car, every single time I see a car with the Bernie sticker, I just think, that's so sad. They still haven't taken it down. The dream is still alive with them.
All right, so Sentinel, Captain Solo, says he's interacted with the host of that podcast. He's a friend of Jordan Peterson. So, yeah, I mean, if anybody's watched it or listened to it, I'd be interested. It sounds like something I ought to listen to just to get a feel for it. And maybe I'll start listening to it. But yeah, thanks for the article reference. I'll blog something about that. Yeah, we recorded our podcast episode today. That would have been nice to mention that, but I guess I can mention it next time too. So
Dan Shea, you're objectively correct. You're just right on every account.
Norman is so squeezable, I'll tell you. Let's see. How are the audiobooks coming along? Susan asks. Well,
I still need to do the next chapter.
Yeah, Calvin's still working on the What Does God Want? There's a fellow who has just started an audio of Reversing Hermann. So both of them are not too far along, but they are in process. So,
man, I gotta actually read one of your books one of these days. Like read it start to finish.
Yeah, read Supernatural.
But I also don't like reading much.
Oh, you used to read a lot, but
yeah, like here's the thing. When I was a kid, I read a lot, right? And I read so many books that my desire to read has been burned out. It's like when you play tennis for 6 months straight and then you quit for the rest of your life because you just burnt out on it. It's like that. Hey Norman, do you have a fish face? Glub glub. Mori kind of looks like a fish to me.
we got it. Okay, I just saw Mori blink, so he's still alive. Okay.
We should get a heart rate
Speaking
monitor.
of still alive, I assume that everyone has heard the news that Grumpy Cat has passed on. And I did talk about this on my podcast today.
That's so awful. That's the worst segue ever.
Well, but I mentioned Grumpy Cat because my fantasy baseball team for the Naked Bible League are the Grumpy Cats, and we're in last place.
Well, how poetic is that?
That's what I mean.
You killed Grumpy Cat.
Right, I either killed him or there's some correlation here. Grumpy Cat was suffering from something, and so am I. So my team is just really, boy, it's just bad. So anyway, it's just unfortunate.
Hey Han Solo, are you gonna do any more HD remakes of GameCube games? I know that you did, or that you did some kind of texture pack for an old Star Wars game. If you're doing any more, tell me. I want to know.
Which two books by Peter Jones? There's a question about books by Peter Jones. I know Peter, but I haven't read all of his stuff. I've read some of it.
Okay, someone's got to tell me what this Clown World thing
Yeah,
is.
Mori and Norman would be ideal citizens of Clown World.
Clown World is either some weird internet thing or it's some dumb meme. But if you still have a Pepe the Frog icon, you should just stop. You need to be curb stomped. Just saying.
Yeah, I haven't read that one. I've read articles by Peter on that seemed prescient. Let's see here. Yeah, same for the other one. I subscribe to Peter's newsletter, so I tend to read that, where he Norman looking right at me, where he goes over a lot of the same content in little bite-sized pieces. So the feminist stuff struck me as well, I say prescient, but honestly I don't think it was very difficult to see that coming. But Peter was
this is painful.
Was one of those that was more vocal before a lot of people were.
Okay, remember when I said something about Clown World and I said something about Pepe? Clown World seems to just be another Pepe thing. Okay, we get it. Pepe was added to the Anti-Defamation League and no one even cares about it. But you gotta let this joke die. You don't sound funny.
How can you add
You're not original.
How can you add a cartoon frog?
None of this is funny.
I know you told me this once. How does a cartoon frog get on some Anti-Defamation League?
Because Hillary Clinton tried to politicize it and be like, "Hey, Pepe's bad."
All right. Well, I guess.
But there's another thing.
Given that context, I guess that makes sense.
It's so annoying how Pepe always comes back. Okay. I'm gonna rant here. Okay, do you guys remember 2015 prior, when like troll face was still a thing, everyone who uses Pepe on a regular basis, you're just using the current era troll face. People are going to look at you 2 years from now and be like, wow, that man wearing the Pepe shirt, he must be mentally disabled or something. Because that's the only excuse for wearing something as dumb as that.
Are you saying that the context for Pepe has been lost?
Yes.
So, okay.
Oh, yes. So hard.
Let's see here.
Pepe is just troll face at this point.
Eric is asking me to do a study on eschatology, so the answer is basically going to be no. Live stream is offline. I don't know if anybody can hear us.
What the heck?
So it looks like we're back on.
It's just because
it's because I mentioned eschatology. It took the live stream down.
Maybe if you weren't streaming it,
so the world couldn't take it when I started talking about eschatology.
Maybe we shouldn't be streaming it on like every device in the house.
Oh well, we're not.
Yeah, we are. You're streaming it to your computer.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 laptops here, so the problem the girls are probably watching something.
Okay, but that's still.
They're probably streaming something anyway. But we've not had a problem before on it. No, I'm not going to be devoting any of my time to eschatology anytime soon. So I'm just so bored with eschatology. It's kind of a useless thing because you have to solve 10 prior problems first before you even get to how we should read Daniel. And it's mind numbing. I'm even bored criticizing the pursuit of it. I'm just not interested in eschatology. So,
did you hear about the? Do you know who James Charles is?
No.
He just lost 3 million subscribers.
Because?
Before I say because,
is this
why?
Facebook censoring him or something?
No. No. What he did was definitely his fault. But he now has the record for most subscribers lost in like a 24-hour period.
Well, that's some sort of dignity there,
yeah.
I guess. But.
He is a beauty guru, makeup channel. He's a gay man. He's like 20, right?
Okay.
And he just had a bunch of, I guess, bad stuff from his past.
And the reason you brought this up is...
I just wanted to know if you heard about the record for losing that many subs.
No, I don't keep stats on Facebook stuff going on, or YouTube, or whatever he was on. So the stream would not cut out if the earth were flat. Oh, there you go.
Great comment from someone with the name.
There
with
you go.
The word disc in their name.
Yep, that's the comment of the night right there. That's excellent. So, yeah. Susan asks, "Is ice forming on the lake?" I don't know what you mean by Susan. Is that something cryptic?
I could have a kid, right? And like, no matter how they end up, no matter what weird thing they turn into, I wouldn't judge them, right? But if they become a flat earther, I'll know I failed.
Right. You just have to work that in, don't you? Yeah.
What do you mean I worked it in? They brought up flat earth.
I know, but you're elaborating.
Yeah.
Norman is really a gray in puppy's clothing. Oh. He's a comfy gray right now.
You can be gay and trans, just don't be a flat earther.
He's just taking a good nap. He's comfy. All right, Han Solo. Calvin talking to Mike Heiser talking about James Charles has made internet history. Since Captain Solo is enjoying that so much, I'm a little concerned.
Dad,
but,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
James Charles posted an apology video for the stuff he did, right? And it's 8 minutes long, right? Almost 2 minutes of it is just him inhaling.
Oh, well, that's riveting. Okay, Susan says she wondered basically if hell had frozen over because I was talking about eschatology.
Okay, wait, okay.
No, if I would have kept going, that would have been the case, but I stopped.
Oh wait, okay, no, you've probably heard of this. James Charles was the first male ambassador of CoverGirl, which meant he was briefly on the cover.
I haven't heard that. So why would I Why would I have
I don't
heard
know.
that?
I just feel like you may have heard of him at some point. Guess you're one of the lucky ones who hasn't.
It sounds like something that would have floated it through my head in a nightmare or something like that. But let's see here. Okay.
What about a gay flat earther for a kid? As far as I'm concerned, the worst part of that is flat earther.
All right, you are just looking for ways.
Someone else put it in.
No, you are looking for ways to A, bring up flat earth, and B, dig at it. So
Well, okay, where's the problem?
right,
Where's the injustice?
The flat earth thing. Boy, I'll tell you. You know, I actually did get an email a couple weeks ago. If somebody asking me like what I thought about it, and I'm like, how could you can't spend more than 2 minutes on Google putting my name in and flat earth and not, how could you not find my post on this? But anyway, I sent him the post.
Do you think one day a flat earther will discover fire?
All right. You got to switch gears here.
That was a good one. I don't know why you didn't like it.
No.
Have you seen the clip of the... This is another flat earth thing, but it's great.
I have a question for the audience then, but go ahead.
Okay, a flat earther found, bumped into, someone who's been to, the moon or something, right? In a Starbucks. So he records him on his phone and just starts grilling this random astronaut. It's really funny.
I'm sure he sounded real intelligent, too, when he was doing it.
Not really.
Oh, okay. How many of you have seen the first Godzilla? I'm not talking about the old black and white movies.
The one with Cranston.
That's the one. How many of you have you seen the one with Bryan Cranston in it? Because the second one is due to come out here shortly.
Do you think we should take Norman to see it, or do you think that'll be a bad influence on him?
I don't think he'd be traumatized.
Also, can we say Godzilla is such a strange thing to become as popular as it did?
But you have to realize the context for it was the Cold War. All the nuclear stuff, and here you have this mutant thing and awakened by nuclear power and all that kind of stuff.
But I'm just shocked that it's still as big of a thing now, because I don't see kids wearing Godzilla merch.
Look, they're taking the Aladdin movie and making it live, so they're running out of things to do.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Aladdin's I think Aladdin ages better than Godzilla does.
All right, someone's commenting that Mori hasn't moved, so okay, he blinked, he's still alive.
Hey, Mori. There we go.
All right, I saw the first one and I kind of liked it, but how can I? It's been a while since I've seen it. Yes, on one hand, I thought they could have done more with certain things about it, but it wasn't as bad as other things I've seen. So I'd probably give it a 6, maybe a 7, something like that. But I just like Godzilla stuff.
We should see Detective Pikachu, me and you.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I already know it's gonna be good.
Look. Okay, you made me watch Shazam.
Yeah, and you know what? Shazam was good. Don't even act like it wasn't.
What did I say it wasn't at the level at?
You said it wasn't at the level of Sam Raimi Spider-Man, is what I think you said.
No, there was something else that was kind of like it.
I don't know.
That I thought was a little better. I can't remember.
Homecoming?
No, I mean it wasn't bad, but it wasn't I didn't think it was as good as you thought anyway.
Yeah, well, but you rate every movie low.
Mike, there's a meetup group for flat earthers I went to last week for pure amusement. Oh, I hope so. Captain Solo, or you'd be Private Solo.
Moonlight cools materials. They believe the moon has a cooling effect.
Moonlight cools materials.
No,
And what does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
The moon doesn't cool stuff. It's just that the sun's absence makes things cooler. Because it's not there.
Yeah, I know, but okay. I guess you found a connection. Oh my. Let's see here.
Okay, unpopular opinion. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are kind of trash.
No, they're better than that.
No, I mean, okay, here's the thing. If you edit video, like I have, and you've messed around a lot, and you watch that movie, I understand it was at a different time, but I'm more referring to the insane supercut of Spider-Man gaining his powers, and like there's like a skulls flash on the screen, and like all sorts of crazy stuff is going on.
Okay.
And it's like it's
All right,
just
well,
so weirdly put
all right.
together.
Everybody has a spasm, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Albert asks, congratulations on the move, new position. Also interested in the courses. When will further information be available? The short answer is I don't know when it will be posted. Part of this is due to the fact that I can't start writing the web content that I know they will want me to write, because, I'm the one that has to explain the courses and all that stuff. I can't start that until June 1st. So I'm guessing sometime, my bet, because of something else happening in mid-July connected with Celebration, I'm betting that they would like the website up by mid-July. So that I don't know that for sure, but that would be my bet. So I would say look for midsummer. Look for information. All I can tell you right now is yes, there will be video taken, and yes, people will be able to enroll online. But other than that, we don't have the specifics posted yet. Yeah, you can. I mean, they will charge something, but we're really trying to lowball it.
Oh, if I can't get it for free, I'm not doing it.
Well, see, there you go. But we're really trying to lowball it because, institutionally, it doesn't need to make money, and the institution doesn't need money. But there are certain logistics that are going to require some hardware. It'll depend on how, when we video, is it just going to be me, or do we need to pay somebody to put the slides into the video and all that kind of stuff? Because then, that's...
I can just throw slides on the videos.
No, this is not just this isn't me doing it. These are professionals
well,
who
then
do video all the
contact
time.
them.
But they're going to have to pay somebody to do that.
Drink on that.
So I don't know, but we're shooting for a real low, nothing that looks like tuition, trust me.
Hey,
but
Dad.
A real low cost to it. Yeah.
Someone guide her just said, what was the wording on the MAGA hat in the latest Fringe Pop? Did that just come out?
Oh, well, I don't.
The one we shot so long ago?
Was this the one with Carl? Yeah, this has to be Carl Teichgrib. Okay, we have the MAGA hat in the studio that we put on the alien sometimes.
We have different props that we put on the alien for context.
So, instead of Make America Great Again, Carl, who's from Canada, put a piece of athletic tape over it and wrote the word Canada on it. So it said, Make Canada Great Again. So that was it.
Steve Bankar, are you guys going to do more things with him? He still hasn't debated vegan gains. I'm waiting for that. You gotta name drop Mori.
Dan asked for substitutionary atonement. Would protected be a better term? I mean, I know you're getting that because of the podcast discussion of Passover. That's interesting. I mean, I think certainly the imagery is more along there. I don't know if it. See, this to me is a question like I faced in my dissertation. Since the word monotheism doesn't quite describe everything, under the umbrella of that discussion, should we just come up with another term that no one knows? Well, no. So I kind of look at this the same way. I don't know who's going to be served by changing the terminology as opposed to just explaining what's going on. So I opt on the side of describe what's going on rather than trying to come up with a label. So I kind of look at it the same way.
Isn't Army of Darkness just the third Evil Dead movie? Responding to someone in the chat.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and that's the movie where at the end, okay, I haven't watched any like Evil Dead movie start to finish. I've seen a lot of clips. It seems like a great time.
Yeah, I don't know.
My favorite plot point, no, I can't spoil that in case anyone hasn't seen it, but it's pretty neat.
Resurrection Jose asks, have I ever heard of a UK band called Fields of the Nephilim? You know what? I did because I came across it today. Yeah, I don't know why I came across it, but the answer is yes. So I'm tapped now. I have no idea what they're about, but yes, I have heard of them as of today. How about you, Norman? Have you heard of them?
Hey, Norman, what do the numbers mean?
Oh boy, Norman, you're a piece of work.
Norman's doing work.
I mean, Norman is unusually subdued. But when when he's on somebody's lap, then he's comfy.
You ever seen Split or Glass? Sorry, it's like Glass, where like the lights disorient him. That's what's happening to Norman right now. His alter ego, his sleepy Norman's in control.
So if we flash the lights, he'd freak out and
maybe
crazy Norman would take over. Yeah, well, Thomas, thank you. I mean, we're almost at the end here anyway, so yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, for watching. We'll give Norman another treat since he's still awake. Here you go, buddy.
Norman, do you get food? He eats like he's starving.
I know. Every meal is a celebration for Norman.
Have you seen the "And They Came Bounding Over" clip? Have you seen that?
No.
Let me get it. Let me quickly find it. It's really funny.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, here it is. It's great.
Well, who's they and bounding over? What in the world? Does that guy know he's on TV?
Yeah. I like how stone cold sober his poor wife is.
Right.
Like, he does this often. She just tunes it out.
Well, I wonder if is Endgame stupid?
No.
I wouldn't be that harsh. I was a bit disappointed with certain parts of it, but
I think you have a bad opinion.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
No, I just, like I said, I was a bit disappointed with certain aspects of it, but overall I liked it.
Is Endgame stupid? What an opinion.
Brain is hilarious. Braid with cat.
Imagine watching every single Marvel movie, right? When they come out, and then you see Endgame, and then you're like, I think that was stupid. I think you're psychologically flawed if that's what you get out of it.
Well, apparently Captain Solo and you are going to disagree on there.
Okay, so, question, Captain Solo. Have you actually seen Endgame?
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. All right, Calvin, I'm cutting out.
No, I'm waiting for his response.
Well, you can wait for his response.
Yeah.
But
do we watch Game of Thrones? No. We have good taste in shows.
No.
Okay, well, here's the thing. From what I've heard, first few seasons, fine. Everything after that, bad. Haven't tried it out myself.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode, so...
I know that the books are neat, apparently, but I know that now the show's not going with the book routes anymore, and apparently that's when things got really bad.
Yeah, you have to realize...
They spent $8 million on a single episode just to have like a snow effect.
Well, I guess they can afford it, but I literally don't watch TV except for baseball. I don't have the time. So.
Well, it's okay to be wrong, console. And with that, we got to end the stream. Not because it's not so I can have
Calvin,
the last word. But
Calvin, all right. See now, he says he has been, and he's written a lengthy critique. So you can go find it, Calvin.
Okay, you know what? Send it to me on Discord, and then I'll make a video explaining why you're not correct. There we go.
Right.
Anyway, we gotta head out now. Any last words?
I agree with Sentinel's line here. How did Rogers come back as an old man if he's trapped with Peggy?
How did Rogers
Plus,
come back
if it's
but
time,
he's not.
But if it's time travel, he doesn't have to come back old either. You know.
No, yes, he does. You know why he would have to?
Why?
Because he went back in time and he just lived out his life as old Steve Rogers, and then he's just at the bench. He would know where to go. Okay? And no one would think anything of him, because the only time anyone in history would see him and think, oh, that's Steve Rogers, would be immediately after he left the teleporter and someone spotted him on that bench. It's more than feasible. If you think it's not feasible, I think you look like an idiot.
It's not. I'm not saying it's not feasible. I'm saying it's not necessary.
Okay.
It's not necessary.
How would you have had them write out Steve Rogers' character?
I don't think they should write him out at all. Apparently, he just wanted to be out of the series.
No, his contract's out. He's been doing these for like a decade.
Well, then they have to get rid of him somehow.
Okay, well, how would you have rather had them do it? How would you have rather had them do justice to the character and get rid of him? Because we're not going to recast him as someone else.
You just don't make other Captain America movies.
Yeah, but
you don't have
then
to do
you would have
anything
the
with the
plot hole,
character.
right? Then you would have the plot hole, right? Right? Okay, listen to me here.
There
then
is
you'd
no
have the
plot
plot.
hole.
Yes, that would create a massive plot hole. Because then the other Avengers movies, they just never explain why Steve Rogers isn't doing anything. Because he'd just be like there.
You know how you can do
in
that?
his own corner.
You know how you can do that?
All right, how
it's
can we do
called a sentence. You write a sentence of dialogue.
Okay. It says like, oh, sorry, Steve couldn't make it for the 42nd time in a row, and that wouldn't cause
There's
questions.
not going to be.
Okay, if Endgame came out and Steve Rogers wasn't in there, and they just said one sentence about him, you absolutely would have a problem with it. You'd have a huge problem with it.
Rogers is stuck in that alternate timeline, no longer able to come back if he didn't have the time travel device. I'm with, some of you will catch this reference. I'm with Captain Janeway here on time travel. When in Star Trek, she said, "I swore at the Academy I would never get caught in one of these scenarios." Okay, I don't like time travel movies at all because of this kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't really like time travel movies either, right? Because no one really understands rules of time travel. You got people like, oh, if you go back in time and you kill your grandmother, you die.
I'm
First
out
off,
of here.
If you think that, you're a brainlet. Anyway.
No, they explained that in the movie, so they didn't go down that.
It's more than feasible. You're just looking for things to nitpick.
I didn't say it wasn't feasible.
I'm not
I
saying
said
that
it's
to you.
not necessary.
Norman, you're